Dear Moira, when you mentioned the Yanks working at home in your last letter, you probably heard me laugh right over the Atlantic. You ought to see him here.
Letters in Wartime is the story of Alan, an Air Force officer heading off to war, and his girlfriend Maura, who promised to write each other during the Second World War. The letters, read by the actors who sit on opposite sides of the stage, reflect the changes that affect them as the war goes on. Alan, played by John Patterson, is coarsened by the horrors of war that he sees. Maura, played by Melissa McPherson, stays home in Edmonton and finds work in the war industry.
Our house is like a permanent funeral with Peter missing. Mom looks terrible, and Dad is taking it just as hard, though he tries not to show it.
And they may miss each other at first, but then they grow apart. They have their challenges throughout the war. Alan, of course, is facing death every night, flying into Germany, dropping the bombs. And, of course, Moira is learning a whole new role of women during the early 40s.
The play was written by Ken Brown and Stephen Scriver, partly in response to the controversial CBC documentary The Valor and the Horror, which questioned the Allies' bombing campaign in Europe. Letters in Wartime is at the London Convention Centre until June 16th. For the London Free Press, I'm Joe Belanger.